Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Good Morning NASDAQ. We are live this lovely Wednesday morning, 9:21 a.m. Eastern. It is the last day of April, last day of the month. I know myself and many traders are excited to see this month pass. It's been quite an eventful month with a lot going on, but also I think we're all tired of it and ready to move on. Now, that's not to say May isn't going to be the same, but it's always nice starting off fresh, a new chapter of our year, which is now, 33% of the way done. Kind of crazy. But anyways, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Huddy. Good morning, Dom. How are we doing on this last day of April?
I feel great. I feel great. You know, I had a tumultuous April, and I don't really like believe in the whole. And I know you don't either. Like the whole idea that like once April ends, like your woes are gone, and like May will start like different, like
Yeah.
doing something like that. That's not true. Like May is just another day, just like April 30th. But it does feel like it's a chance to like reset the data and start the new month. And so I do understand why. But if you're having problems in April, they're not just going to magically disappear in May. You have to kind of review and figure out what's been going on. And that's a challenge that no matter where you are in your career, you're going to face at some point. Um, I think I have a YouTube video coming out later this week or next week. So if you guys want to watch it, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. But I've been on like basically like a 6 week losing streak. Now, fortunately, I haven't ballooned the loss, so it's really not that bad. But mentally, it's tough to be losing for 6 weeks in a row, not making money, and literally lose like red weeks after red weeks. And this week is green. The past 5 days have been green for me. Um, and that's because like I really took some time in the past, week and a half to review and figure out what exactly is causing me to lose bigger than when I'm winning. And I think I've been able to fix it, and I think we're back on greener pastures. And so I'm feeling good about that. And I like that I fixed the problem before May came. I like that I'm not relying on May to come for me to get relieved of my issues. It's I put in the work, and for the past 6 days I've been rewarded for it. And it the end of April was a chance to prove myself instead of like, oh my God, let's just get done with this month. Let's get to the next month. Like, no, I think that's kind of weak behavior. With that being said, I'm down for May. Like, I don't like April either.
Yeah, there's a middle ground, right? Which I agree. The specifics is not that new month, new me. It's almost like if you had a crappy workout in April, well, like the gym wasn't too great. You got a whole new month to look forward to, right? There's new beginnings. But with that being said, let's just talk about what we've got going on the last day of April. Dom, would you like to start us off, or do you not have much today?
Um, I don't really have much. Looks been kind of a slower week. Kind of had the same grouping of stocks that are still around. I've seen Pony running. I've seen CEP consolidating. Omex is looks like it's having its first gap down day of this entire run. Um, we got one gapper. Yeah, I mean WW is the only thing you guys could probably talk more on it. I'm not a professional short seller. Um, but that's on a day four now from 14 cents has touched a dollar in pre-market. Um, Potential, it's up 18% on a red move, or if it does spike really hard out of the gate and have a really hard crack. Um, but ideally a little more there. It's hard to ask for more than 3 or 4 green days, but if it wants to, that would be nice to see. Um, CEP, kind of watching for the first time it breaks the previous day's high or low. It's kind of getting tighter and tighter each day since its big 3 day run where it sets a range the previous day, stays inside of it, stays inside of it. Right now, it's red on the day, looking like it might crack down. Not sure if I'll participate in the short side if it cracks below like 30 bucks. But if it does hold up and find a way to be in the low to mid 30s again today or tomorrow, I'll be watching it for a breakout. So probably nothing right out of the gate there unless I decide to short it, but risk is kind of wide there to the previous day's high. That's pretty much it. I know AGMH, someone will ask about it being a reversal. I think it's close. I think it's like 4 cents to 15s. So the same argument yesterday about someone was saying it wasn't 300%. This one's not. But I do tend to stay away from really cheap reversals. Just know that I've had great success with them over the years. Um, If it wants to come back and break out, I'll participate in that, but I'm gonna leave that one alone this morning.
Nice. Um, yeah, what do I have on watch? SEP I had a very mini long overnight, not really even as a trade, but just as an idea that if Bitcoin broke out, this could gap up a bit, but Bitcoin did not break out, so I did sell that. So this little red arrow candle is here. Took a very mini loss, just a rough gamble-like idea. Didn't work out. But yeah, it's the first day now. It's gapping down. We'll see how this goes. I imagine if it's like anything recently, it will not do much. I don't know. I've just been so bad with it short, so don't think it's going to do much. OMX, I am keeping an eye on this just in case if it breaks down like 128. I don't know if I'll take it yet, but I am eyeing kind of this idea for this. There's a space here between 90 cents to a $1.30. JFBR is the gapper for the day, which I do not have any borrows yet borrowed. I am contemplating it. However, every time I look, they get more expensive. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a second. Hold on.
What'd you find?
I found some. Come on.
What'd you find? Oh my God, 0.02, it's there.
All right, we got some. Oh, I got.
There's only 7,100.
Oh, someone took them all. Damn it.
Guess who took them?
I got 4,000 at 0.02, which is not nearly as much as I wanted, but interesting. Let me keep looking real quick. Oh no, they have some again.
Locate 11. Just be ready. They're back.
This is quite the.
Locate 5 has them too.
Okay. It gets rejected. Okay. It's all over the place. But we have now how many? I have like 10,000 borrowed now. So that's lovely. Let's get a little more here. Is that gonna work? It's just so funny when everyone's like fighting for them. So by the time I borrow, someone's already taken them. But anyways, so we'll see if this gap and craps. But the one I really like today the most is WW. Awesome run from now 13 cents all the way up to nearly $1. Gapping up. So I actually like that it's gapping within yesterday's resistance. And if we kind of fail and can't get over, this one very solid $1 level, I have a feeling we're going to sell off to 70 cents, maybe even 60 cents. Maybe we get really ugly and get into the 50s, but we'll see. This will be my top priority short for today. But yeah, so we got 15 seconds. I know, sorry, Huddy, if you have anything to add, feel free to. Started
That's
a
so
little late
rude.
here.
You guys took out my spotlight time.
I apologize. This pre-market happened much quicker than I realized.
I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna push any buttons right out of the gate. Yeah, I'm watching Weight Watchers here. I don't want to just stab at market open, and I don't know if it just collapses 14 cents and goes to 70, it's gonna be kind of annoying in terms of risk reward. OMX, I really like. OMEX. I already have a position from a couple days ago. I'm looking to add to it today. There's this it kind of reminds me of like a reverse 3-day sequence breakout where you have this like 128 level where it's tested once and then again the next day and continuously gapped up against it. Today's the first day we're gapping down. Volume has been diminishing. Candles have been closing red. I think it's weak given just my look at it. So I'm kind of curious to see if like this 128 level is going to act like a reverse breakout, otherwise called a breakdown. And that would be a potential spot for me to add to my position. I think it's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Now, is that a good ad? I don't know, but we're going to do it.
I'm probably going to miss it.
I've been working this corner for a while, if you know what, catch my drift.
So WW, I just took a very small starter just because this volume here is very low in comparison to how big it can get. Now, it can get bigger, so that's why I'm just a starter. It's not by any means something I'm convicted on, but if it does fail, this will be a good spot to get in. Risking $1. But we'll see here. This ticker is a little bit choppy.
It's like one of those moments on OMEX where it's like I'm so scared to ruin my average. I feel like adding to a winner while it's working is like the right mentality. So I'd rather botch the trade here than not try to make it better. Is my mentality at least. I have good average, but who cares about the average? Hey, Weight
All right.
Watchers, looking good. Here you are,
WW
Kyle.
dying more.
That is a drop.
Shorted some more.
You shorted some more, ladies and gentlemen.
Probably going to risk some portion of this at high day now.
It's gonna try to find a bottom. Spirit 80 cents.
83.
I don't really know what it would take for me to short Weight Watchers. I think I almost want it to like slam red and then come back to 70 and I'll short the bounce. Because I don't want to short into weakness like 88 cents to 70. Like for me personally, like that's a 20-cent drop already. So I feel like it's just like, what am I gonna risk?
Yeah, shorting red green in this scenario wouldn't be as ideal risk reward wise. So we'll see here.
That was a super choppy stock from yesterday.
Yeah, it is choppy. That's my only worry here, where I'm gonna have to maybe stop some out only because excuse me, there's a world this goes over high day or like over 90, but still dies. So we're gonna have to try to manage this as best I can. But volume is still low. It's right. That's the
Oh,
opening minute.
I'm also keeping an eye on JFBR. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I will short that eventually. I have shares.
The gapper of the day.
So 3 trades, 3 shots. I did add to Omex a little bit earlier when we gapped down at 144. So this will be my second add on that today.
Nice.
We're cruising, we're bruising. We're having a good time. We're enjoying stock trading again. We weren't enjoying it last week. We're enjoying it this week.
I'm not enjoying it this week. We're
It
opposites
happens.
always.
Me and Dom are always opposites. When he goes up, I go down. When I go down, he goes up.
You guys could be part of a diverse portfolio. You could even each other out.
You know what they say, opposites attract. That's why Dom loves me.
They're pretty opposite.
Oh, WW, what are we doing? We're gonna come back for
I ain't a
this.
bottom.
That one just looks like I'm bound to take multiple losses on it. Even feel like I'd want to risk $1, but like such a bouncy ball between 70 and $1. Definitely don't want to short weakness.
It's just in that weird area where it's like, am I shorting a first red day? You know what I keep trying to tell you?
You gotta anticipate it,
It's
unfortunately,
tricky.
a little bit.
That's hard for me to do. That leads to a lot that leads to FFIE for me. Scary. You kind of you gotta lead it, you know? Like in soccer.
Well, just shorting a red green just puts you in a pretty crappy risk reward scenario. At least when you gap up, 20%. So it's kind of you're between a rock and a hard place. Nice fail though.
Feels like
Potential
jinx.
potential double chop, maybe. We'll
Double
see.
chop, double top.
We got to lose low a day though. This isn't anywhere near dead.
Have to lose low day.
I always try to replay
I
in my
do.
mind on these green days, like Gritani's trading tickers too, where he's like he will short. It's called like shorting front side, and it's like a hard crack. And like, would he in that moment say 90 cents down to 79 cents? Where in my mind, that's a pretty big crack. I don't know. Doesn't look that big.
I feel like there's a big level. If you're going back into yesterday's like topping action, I feel like we kind of held under 88 3 times, perked above it, but ultimately failed and seemed to be kind of holding under that level again today. So like if I'm not short, and I'm probably not going to short it, but if this starts basing above 88, I feel like a red flag
Yeah,
for
it
short
would be.
sellers. JFBR kind of just had a little crack there without me. That's a little rude.
Mm.
Can you not do that? I'd be sick if you didn't do that. Oh,
I have not touched this one either yet. Hopefully this doesn't sell off too much. Otherwise, I probably will miss it. WW. I think I can add a little bit more on low a day. Do I necessarily think low a day is the perfect last entry? No, but again, I definitely can't add something at 73. You could be really aggressive and add now, but I don't necessarily think this could just stay in within this range. Overall market's kind of ugly. All right, QQQ. Oh, I think GDP came in and it's just a tenth of a percent negative. So obviously that's not it's not bullish. Doesn't make people feel very confident in the environment, the overall
not
market.
bullish, not bearish.
All right,
Hey,
here we go. Add a little
slippery.
bit more. It didn't recently break high day or low day. It could be double bottom, but it's too damn close not for me to add there. Now we're definitely risking all of it on high day. But we should be breaking any second here. It's right on that 79. There it is. Can we do straight to red green, which is 73.2?
Do I like it or do I hate it?
Or is it a fake out? So far, looking like a fake out.
Oh, I think I hate it. I like the 88 risk a lot. I just not sure if this is backside. So like I'm trying to wait for it to show me that it is backside and then pray for some type of bounce. I think that's gonna be the only way I'm getting in because I really don't want to short it here. Even though I think it could pay. I mean, there's good data behind it. I just think it's kind of 50-50. I don't like 50-50. What is JFBR doing? Kyle, can you tell it to bounce? Oh my god.
JFBR. This is quite the weakness here. I think I heard you, Huddy. It's trying to bounce now.
I'll short the bounce.
WW, if I was really aggressive, I probably would still be adding, but I'm pretty much at the much as I would like to risk on high a day. But anyways, let's take a look at the chat here.
I took some JFBR at 150. Wish me luck. Everyone's excited.
Someone asked me, is that your sound call? I keep looking at my brokers where it is beeping. I don't hear any beeping. Do you guys hear any beeping?
I don't.
Yeah. Might just be you, K30. But if not, We'll look for it.
I haven't beeped since Guam.
Trade Force says, can you pull up dilution tracker for JFBR? I think it's got dilution. I didn't really look all that closely at it, but I think you're right. It's got some in the twos, so can't reach those. It's got very minimal at 13 cents. And that's about it. So I would not... No, I would say it doesn't have much, unless there's something I don't see in that with a brief look. Oh, WW. Good Lord.
Told you I didn't like it.
Let's see here.
Usually when I don't like it, it works though.
This is where it gets choppy. Good old choppiness.
I'm gonna probably short more Omex here pretty soon.
Yeah, Omex at its breakdown level.
No one try this at home. Quick way to sabotage a good week.
I probably won't take it, even though if it's at $1 by tomorrow, I'll feel like I should have.
I will wait, and then it'll be too late because SSR is on.
Excuse me.
And that's just how the cookie crumbles. Ain't that right, Dom?
I like cookies.
Cookies are good.
All right, no follow through so far on WW, which is good. But then again, it might be hearing me as I speak.
Following through.
No, thank you. Covered that one. Yeah, just a choppy bastard. Look at that.
Oh, whore.
All over the place.
I didn't do that.
There's a world where I reshort only because $1 is really the risk level I need to play off of. But again, when I have the size I want, I can't really risk $1. But we'll see. If that was good enough stuff, it could still roll over. We'll give it one more shot if it does, but not in a rush. Let's see this fail first.
I feel like we're at war and Kyle just got shot.
Man down.
Man down. Trying to add to Omex. Trying to.
Is that SSR?
It's not going to work, but I should really wait one more penny. I get okay.
Okay, 30 says means the locate sound. Oh, maybe my locate sound was making noise. That is true. It does make a noise when you locate. I feel like we answered that question. Yes, I was risking high a day on WW.
The GMH doing? Going green here?
Really?
It's not really that surprising.
Is it an AGMH? There we go.
I'd love another shot at that breakout, like in 2 days.
That'd be cool.
Let's do it again.
WW. failed so far.
At 88 level, keeps kind of wicking over and pulling back underneath.
Yeah. Huddy's had 6 red weeks. Dom, Kyle, what is your worst streak of red weeks? I would have to look.
I don't know why you had to like point mine out again.
I have absolutely no idea.
Just brought
I
him
don't
up.
think it's like I think it's just kind of a talking point. It's like it's Huddy's it sucks for Huddy, and that's just a way to say it with and make everyone feel it. Because you can have big drawdowns while having green weeks in the middle. Um,
Yeah,
no
that's a good
clue.
point too. It's not like they have to be consecutive red weeks. In 2023, I had I had 4 red weeks in a row. Ended up red that November. I would imagine that's probably the longest.
It totally happens to the best of us.
It does. To think it doesn't happen to you would be a big mistake. But yeah, that's about. I can't find a streak worse than that. So 4 weeks.
The most I have in the last 2 years is three, but there's been red months, so it's like I don't know. That's
Yeah, it's like you could say like I've only had 2 red weeks in a row. That's my longest streak. But like I was red that year, so like like time frames really do matter. You could be the guy with a 99% win rate and win every day, and lose just one day of the year. But if that red day is big enough, you're red on the year. So
Really do want to be short WW here, but you know that old saying about like forcing trades? I feel like my brain is trying to convince myself of every reason to be involved right now, and I just don't want to be.
that's totally fine. I think I still want to be involved,
Oh.
but how to approach it is the question.
If you kind of just zoom out on this chart and just you allow this candle to close right here, I like this for a dollar breakout coming into tomorrow. Like so I really don't want to force the short unless like it is backside. I think that's how I'm feeling. But I also think that double top might be very significant. That's my brain trying to force the trade.
I'm gonna start back in just a little. Hopefully it
Uh-oh.
bounces to prove me wrong. Thank you for that. But we're gonna risk on this. We're gonna risk a dollar.
Previous day's high.
We're not risking high a day. No, sir.
Ooh. Tough one.
This thing chop itself around. This could be wild. I mean, this thing could chop itself up for another hour or two and then roll over late day. Like we have really no idea. I just know most daily charts that look like this tend to not close like this. So we'll see. Although it is annoying. The moment I short, they then bounce it. That's always fun. Would have just rather got short, a couple cents higher here.
That is going to be such a cute breakout chart if it holds here. I mean, it's a long way. You got to wait at least like 24 hours before we can really visit that idea. But that is cute.
it's definitely a short now. When you already want to start thinking about the future long.
I don't know. I mean, it better go down if you're short. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, if someone's short, like, it better go down because if it doesn't start going down, Dom, what is it going to start doing?
Go up, but hopefully that takes longer. The volume is like pretty low today.
You know what they call that?
What?
Liquidity trap. I'm kidding.
Seems early for that.
It seems like I'd wait till at least Christmas.
Dawson asks ABVE.
Stop it. What is it? I haven't looked at
No,
it.
volume is pretty low on this one. From 60 to 150. I mean, that is good. I guess volume's not that bad, but yesterday was kind of Day one was worse. Day one, it came all in the open, and then or not even open at 11 a.m. and then nothing for the rest of the day. So I mean, this could work. I'm not denying it, but I don't like the liquidity here.
Doesn't deny it.
You know, I don't like ones that
good.
just randomly have hundreds of thousands of volume and then nothing. Kind of throws me off. Even right now, like out the open, tons of volume, and then now we're just kind of barely having a few thousand shares traded a minute. It's kind of awkward. So it's a no for me. Volit Trading says, I'm asking if I have like 13 red weeks and I think I will go crazy. Well, I mean, if you're an unprofitable trader,
That's not good.
you know, what we just shared, Dom, me having Huddy having 5, me having 4, Huddy or Dom having 2 or 3, like that's us being profitable. If you're unprofitable, you could have 52 weeks red out of the year. I mean, there's no stopping how many times you can lose. And so 13 red weeks, you know, if you were profitable, and maybe you are, I would say there's something off. Your strategy is off. Your rule following is off. Maybe your edge is just off. But if you're a losing trader, that would actually, unfortunately fall in par for a lot of people's experiences. So you gotta tighten it up, make some adjustments, go through that learning curve, etc. Kyle, was your loss on WW1R currently struggling with sizing and trying to get a good idea of your plan? Are you planning on adding more? When will you get fully sized? No, I was full sized. This is a 1 hour loss right here. This is now, I guess if I stop out at 1, it'll be like 1.5 hour ish. Only because my stop now is much wider at $1. But at some point, I want to size in to then risk this actual high day. I just think the only time they really get confirmation of that is, I would say low day, but obviously that previous low day was not it. You could say red green, but again, at that point, am I really going to add 73, risking 90 on full size? I wouldn't really like to. My risk reward would be less than 1-to-1 or 1-to-1 at best. So it's tough. But it's got to be somewhere. I got to get an average somewhere around here. Ideally, my average is above 80 by the time I'm full size. So I'm only risking 10 cents. And if this thing can go to 60 cents, then we get a 2-to-1. But again, that's me assuming it goes to 60 cents, which is a mistake. I never like doing that as a trader. I just like to react. Do I think it could go to 60? Sure, but I'm not going to hold my entire position to 60 in the name of risk reward. So we'll just have to see. We'll do a couple more questions here before we close it out. TradeFloor says I do a full reassessment after 2 red weeks. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think regardless what week you have, I mean, I do an assessment every week on Saturdays. I just do a little weekly recap, look over my trades, see what's working, see what's not.
I got some ads on Omex somehow. That was cool.
Nice, that's working. That's fading.
It's working. Don't know if it's right, but we're following plan. Just getting our size. Kind of silly.
Down 12%. Excuse me. WW, just when you think it's weak, it says nope. Comes right back. Excuse me. Yeah, someone in the chat says, great failure, WW. I wouldn't call that failure. This is still in no man's land. Still in the middle. Still 50-50.
Still
Very
anticipatory.
strong and
Someone asks, Kyle, did you catch SMMT? Speaking of WW, new high day there. SMT, no, I haven't looked at this thing in quite some time. This one 4 days ago? No, I did not catch this. I did miss this move, unfortunately. And even if I was short this, I probably would have covered 30 best case. There's no way I would have been short and stayed short for 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. That thing got obliterated much further than I expected. So, let's see. Last, I guess, comment or question here. Does it ever seem like the setups you skip always work and the ones you take work, like 60%? I mean, that's just. I mean, I think if you lose money, your brain will find a way to make it why so. And so I totally know what you mean, where like the ones you don't take work and the ones you do take don't work. But like, argumentatively, like you should be trying to take it all, And so it's kind of just a mistake not taking it all. But I get what you're saying, because there's plenty of setups I just don't take. Like MX, I'm just not taking. And if it works, but if it works, I'm not gonna be like, oh darn it, I didn't take MX or OMX and it worked, and I took WW and it didn't work. Like it's two completely different setups on two completely different strategies. Like it's just, what's that law? It's like anything that goes wrong anything that can go wrong will go wrong, right? Like it's just part
Marvin's
of the game.
law.
Yeah, But then on the opposite spectrum, whatever can go right could go right, or whatever it is. So I don't know. Just how you look at it. Just all about how you look at it.
It's kind of like when you're sitting at the blackjack table with Kyle and you're deciding whether you want to play the Buster blackjack or not, the side bet. And, it kind of feels like that question kind of makes me feel like whenever you play the side bet, you lose. Whenever you don't play it, you win. And so then the decision is what? I'm either going to never play it or I'm going to always play it. And that way you can't be a victim of the mentality of it. It's out. The game is out to get me. So you have criteria for setups. You take them all or you don't take them all. But the only way that can't be true is if you're taking every setup that fits your criteria.
Right.
And always play the Buster blackjack.
Short answer is always play. Alrighty. Well, that is our time. Obviously, if you're in the Clover chat, we will start talking more about the plays for the rest of the day, see how the rest of this WW goes, etc. Wine Wednesday tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you didn't get your answers, or if you didn't get your questions answered today,
your answers questioned.
Yeah, if you didn't get your answers questioned this morning, you can always come back here, same place, not same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Come with your favorite beverage of wine, water, tea, whatever, and we'll be here to hang out and talk about pretty much anything. But anyways, have a good one, everybody. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you guys later tonight. Peace out.
Glorious.